Hey, welcome back. My name is Dino. This video is on Lobbying 101. So it's an intro to lobbying. It's the second part of a multi-part series. Let's talk first about education. Lobbying is all about education. You want to inform legislators about the issue you're trying to do. You want to make them passionate about your issue so that they take it on as part of their own interests. You want to provide them with any tools to make your case, especially information. And you want to update them on your issue or issues, especially when you're not asking for something. That way, again, going back to a previous video, you want to have a relationship with them. You want to make it long-standing so that they're a long-term advocate for whatever your issue is. Also, in terms of education, through your efforts, you want to turn no to yes. So say if the legislator or legislators say no to what your issue is that you're lobbying for, find out what their concerns are and achieve conditions that will earn their support. So over time, again, over a long term, that they'll come around to what your issue is. Here are some rules if you're going to have a meeting with a lobbyist. Make sure that you arrive on time, which is obviously a part of any type of professional environment. You want to identify yourself and your affiliation clearly, whatever organization you're working for, and your role within that organization. You want to be friendly, organized, and well prepared so that you can both present your ideas and issues, but also be able to deal with any types of pushback so that you can, again, bring them more to your side. You want to thank them for the time at the end, and you want to keep non-germane talk to a minimum so that you're focused on whatever your issue is. I'm kind of more of I like to sort of talk a little more personal than probably the average professional. But given that from a previous video, how dear lobbyists' time is, or how legislators' time is, you want to make sure that you're on point. In terms of your discussion, when you're actually discussing these issues, get your ask out as soon as possible so that they know that what you're talking about, so that can kind of frame their thoughts to you and their any questions that they have. You want to identify the national, especially local benefits you think this action will provide. Again, if you take the maxim that all politics is local, the more you can make it about the legislator and his or her constituents and how that can benefit them, and you can tie those things together, that's great. You want to be prepared for tough questions, especially if you're lobbying for something that's, again, I don't want to give any examples, but if you have an issue that might be out of the normal thought process of the legislator, you want to make sure that you can answer any questions to, again, placate them. I found this is really, really important, like in teaching, but also life. You want to be as good a listener as you are a talker. Be a good listener. Take any notes so that you can, if there are any points that you can't address during the meeting, you can address them subsequently, perhaps in an email or a later phone call. You want to try to ask for firm commitments if you feel that that's necessary and you feel that it's kind of going to that way, especially so if you have a long-term relationship and they've kind of helped you out before. Try to nail down what they will do for you and when, and follow-up is essential. It's always nice to send a quick note saying, it's great to meet you, blah, 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 blah. Fill in blah, 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 blah. Here are some things you don't want to do. Don't want to say anything you are not sure is true, because that can compromise the integrity of the relationship you have with the legislator. You don't want to unilaterally signal a willingness to compromise. You want to try to sort of advocate for your idea, and then maybe longer down the road try to come to a compromise. You don't want to air confidential information or do dirty laundry. You want to keep your relationship as professional as possible. You don't want to threaten or take a negative tone. Again, these are very typical professional etiquette rules. And you don't want to discuss political fundraising. I know that given how, depending on the country you're in, this can be really, really problematic. Some countries are more political fundraising is part of the ether, it's part of the typical conversation, but try to stay away from that. That was Lobbying 101. It's part 2 of a multi-part series. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like this video if you like it. Please feel free to talk about any of the issues, such as the idea of educating various legislators, and especially any of the meeting rules in terms of being professional. I think for these things, it's always hard to make a list and remember all the list. Just try to be as professional as possible. I think that will get you there. Also, if you have any questions about what professionalism is, please feel free to share them in the comments. Finally, if you like this type of video, please feel free to subscribe to this channel for similar type of content. As always, thanks for watching.